Are you hearing babble outside my door?
We are
Mm-mm.
not, and it looks like
Okay.
we are live streaming. So, Lashandra, would you like to welcome the panelists and start introductions, and then we'll do our script. And you are muted. So just in case there's some tech difficulties, I will go ahead and just say, welcome everybody to the creation and presentation fiscal year 26 set of applications from new applicants to this program this year. We have a variety of disciplines in the mix of 11 applications, as you know well. And I think we'll start introductions with panelists and then staff and our chair, who I can see now. Great. Jim, would you please start? Introduce yourself.
Thank you, Karen. My name is Jim O'Connell. I teach arts management at the University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point. We have just renamed the program Arts, Entertainment, and Media Management, and
Mm.
it's a thrilling process. I spent quite a number of years, 47 years as a presenter, 22 of them at the Grand Theater in Wausau. And I've been engaged in this process, actually in the creation and presentation grant process for uh,
A while now.
since its beginning. Uh, Pretty thrilling. Just in case there is interruption outside my door, the Wisconsin High School Theater Festival is taking place about 8 feet from me.
That's
Thank
exciting.
you, Jim. Allison, will you please introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Allison Krish. I'm the executive director at Pump House Regional Art Center in La Crosse, Wisconsin. We are a multidisciplinary art center, theater, art galleries, and art education. And this is my first time being on this panel. Happy to be here.
Thank you. And just noting for the observers that sadly our third panelist is unable to join us today. And so Jim and Allison will be carrying this and very aptly, I am certain. Moving on to staff. Dale, would you introduce yourself, please?
I'm Dale Johnson, Grants and Information Specialist on staff at the Arts Board. I'll be taking your scores today.
Thank you. And Vivian?
Vivian Timchenko. I'm the Public Relations and Logistics Specialist on staff.
Thank you. And George?
George Sugros, Director of the Arts Board, adding thanks to both of you for joining us today and doing this work. You know, whether it's your first time or your many times, our applicants are going to be thrilled that you took the time to look through these things and offer them the constructive feedback that will help them move forward, and also, if it's warranted, a grant as well. So again, thanks for doing it. I'm going to drop off because I still have the arts news to get out this morning, but I probably will listen to you via YouTube as you were having your conversation. And Lashandra, thanks for joining in today as well as the chair.
Thank you, George. And I'm Karen Geschko. I'm the Assistant Director here at the Wisconsin Arts Board, and it is my privilege to be able to staff this particular panel. And Lashandra, I will turn it to you, and then after your introduction, we can do the script.
Absolutely. Good morning. I am Lashandra Vernon. I was having some trouble getting my headphones and all those things together, so thanks for the grace. I'm a pretty new Wisconsin Arts Board member in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. My business is called Prime Solutions. I am a strategic planning and philanthropic advisory consultant and a little bit of policy advocacy, serving the Greater Milwaukee Foundation here in Milwaukee. So welcome and great to meet you all.
Thank you, Lashandra. And I will just say, and Jim can attest, as can Vivian and Dale, that I was having my own set of technical difficulties earlier. So we got them out of the way, which is perfect. So yay. Okay. Just a note to the panelists, we use an orientation script with this process to ensure that all panels are oriented exactly the same way with the same information. And so, Lashandra, do you have access to that? And would you like to kick us off?
Sure. So just going to run through the list of information. Staff
Starting with
confirm.
just starting with the Wisconsin Arts Board in brief. And so scrolling down to that second page in the script.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah,
So the
yeah.
Wisconsin Arts Board, established in 1973, is the state agency which nurtures creativity, cultivates expression, promotes the arts, supports the arts and education, stimulates community and economic development, and serves as a resource for people of every culture and heritage. Our vision is inspired by a quote from the late Robert E. Gard, Professor Emeritus of Community Theater, University of Wisconsin. If we are seeking in America, let it be for the reality of democracy in the arts. Let art begin at home and let it spread through the children and the parents, and through the schools and the institutions, and through government. And let us start by acceptance, not negation, acceptance that the arts are important everywhere, and that they can exist and flourish in small places as well as large, with money or without, according to the will of the people. Let us put firmly and permanently aside the cliche that the arts are a frill. Let us accept the goodness of the arts where we are now and expand its worth in the places where people live. We embrace this vision. It guides our beliefs, and that the arts are basic to human life and essential to the human spirit. The Wisconsin Arts Board has articulated the following values for the agency: imagination, creativity, curiosity, freedom of expression, respect and appreciation for all cultures and people, artistic quality, a broad definition of the arts, audience and patron development, and community engagement. A major portion of the agency's biannual appropriation for the Wisconsin State Legislature is dispersed to eligible artists and nonprofit organizations in the form of matching grants. Additional funds for grants are also allocated to the Wisconsin Arts Board by the National Endowment for the Arts, a federal agency. The board itself consists of 15 voting members who are appointed by the governor of Wisconsin. These members serve without compensation for a minimum of 1 3-year term. Members of the board are responsible for establishing the agency's policies and programs and for approving all grant awards. The board meets a minimum of 4 times per year. All meetings are open to the public. The board employs an executive director as the chief administrative officer. The director supervises the Wisconsin Arts Board staff, programs, and day-to-day operations, the agency's full-time program and support staff, implement policies and programs, including grants, and provide technical and informational services to the public.
Whew, that is the Arts Board in brief. Thank you,
Yes.
Lashandra. So the aims and objectives of this particular program panel. The Creation and Presentation Grants Program provides artistic program and operational support to established nonprofit arts organizations whose primary mission is to create or present ongoing arts programming that makes a significant local, regional, or statewide impact on the cultural life of Wisconsin and furthers the Arts Board's community development and arts education goals. The goals of this particular grant program are to promote and sustain art of the highest artistic quality, to promote and sustain organizational and financial stability, to ensure appropriate long-range planning, ongoing assessment and evaluation, community input, and sound promotion as approaches to increasing the effectiveness of arts organizations, to increase local, regional, and statewide leadership among arts organizations in Wisconsin, to increase audience participation in and appreciation of programs created and presented by Wisconsin arts organizations, to help arts organizations articulate the value of the work that they do and the impact of that work on community and economic development to their state and local officials and to the people in their community, and to encourage arts organizations to work to enhance arts education efforts in their community. These goals are essential to the long-term vitality of arts organizations. Lashandra, I'll let you go over the role of the panelist.
Yes. Your role today is to provide expert assistance to the Wisconsin Arts Board in its grant-making decisions and to help keep the board informed regarding needs and trends that you see. Today, you will be reviewing grant applications according to established review criteria and making recommendations to the board. We would like to apprise the board of needs and trends within your field and community, either through your general discussion of applications or in written assessment for board consideration. We would greatly welcome your input, and we would value any suggestions and recommendations you would like to make on the whole grant evaluation process. It's in the role of the chair. The role of the chair of the panel is both informational and procedural. The chair is responsible for providing information regarding Wisconsin Arts Board policy and ensuring that panel meetings progress in an orderly fashion according to established procedures. The chair is a non-voting facilitator whose job is to ensure that each panelist's point of view is given ample consideration through the review of each application. The panel chair convenes the meeting, reviews the board's conflict of interest and the conflict of interest forms provided by the panelists, and then determines whether possible conflicts exist. Guides the panel through the review by serving as timekeeper and monitor. Panelists should focus their deliberations on how each application proposal meets the established review criteria. The chair may occasionally need to refocus the panel towards that end. Panel discussions should always be constructive, regardless of whether it is a positive or a negative. At the December meeting, the panel chair will report the panel recommendations. A written record of these recommendations and a summary of the meeting will be provided by staff to facilitate this process. Panel chairs will clarify points within that meeting summary by the board. The chair will also wish to comment on any trends or needs identified by the panel or make general observations regarding the overall nature of the applications. We would greatly value constructive comments and remarks on each application. Panel discussion is recorded and made available via our YouTube channel to all applicants.
Thank you, Lashandra. And that December board meeting is December 12th this year. And Lashandra, I will just confirm that this panel had no conflicts with any of the applications before them.
Excellent.
In terms of the role of staff, I can answer technical questions like eligibility issues or whether the applicant submitted the required budgets, did this applicant ask for assistance from me in the grant writing process, etc. I cannot make any qualitative artistic judgments or tell you what I think of their work. In terms of criteria, each application, as you know, will be evaluated based on the purpose and goals of the creation and presentation program, and specifically on the following 4 criteria areas that are enumerated on your panel scoring and comment sheets. 1, artistic, educational, cultural value. 2, organizational and financial management. 3, community participation and accessibility. And 4, planning, evaluation, and documentation. Scoring recommendations. You'll be asked to score each application individually from 1 to 100. However you score, be consistent throughout the meeting. Don't score hard at first and then get easier or vice versa. Once you click the submit button after each application discussion, the scoring and comment sheet will go to our staff who, at the end of the meeting, will average and share the scores back to us to review. Please note that if an applicant has received less than 50 points, they are automatically taken out of consideration for a grant in this year. You will not be asked to deal with dollar amounts. That is one of our gifts to you. We will run a formula to determine the grant amount.
And so what happens next? As noted previously, the panel chair takes the panel recommendations to the full board. After review of the panel's recommendations, the Arts Board members vote to approve or deny funding. Applicants will be notified of grant decisions by mid-December. As far as the conflict of interest, you received the conflict of interest form. We've already expressed that you all have no conflicts. Wonderful. In the unlikely circumstance that you have been asked to review an application for an organization with which you or a person with whom you have a familial relationship are associated, we ask that you withdraw from all consideration of that application. The panel should not take any action on any application which would financially benefit a member of the advisory panel or someone with whom the member has a familial relationship. Panelists should be upfront about their ability to judge an application objectively, and the perspectives of perception of conflict should be also considered and avoided.
In terms of recording the meeting and appeals, this meeting is being recorded and live streamed because it is an open meeting. Regarding the appeals process, we'd like to let you know that an applicant may only make an appeal based on procedural errors and not on the basis of an artistic judgment. All right, end of script. Turning to you all to see what questions you have at this point. Jim O'Connell.
Karen, with regard to the response of the applicants to the question regarding accessibility evaluation, no one answered that question. Is that something which we should comment on or take into account in our scoring?
Thank you for asking that question. So this year, for the first time, we have overtly said arts organizations that receive state funding need to have done a self-assessment on their accessibility for all kinds of reasons, in all kinds of ways. And there are two that we recommend, one that we strongly recommend, and that is the one from Open Door Arts. And so we put it into the application form to confirm in writing with them that either they have done that self-assessment already, in which case please send us a copy or at least a confirmation that you've done it, or they have not done it yet, in which case they will do it within the next 2 months, or I believe we say 8 weeks. I can't remember exactly what we say there.
But none of the applicants responded to that question.
And you're saying none of them checked it?
None of them checked it, either yes
Either
or
way.
no. Either way.
Okay.
On none
Dale,
of the 11 applications was that responded to.
That's interesting.
Goodbye.
Can we go ahead and Dale, will you please go back? Let's make sure we touch on that on Monday to make sure that we've got what we need from them before we can move forward. Don't let it affect your scores. It's really more of an internal, we have to make sure we have it,
Right.
or at least that they have done it and we have confirmation of that. But thank you, Jim, for pointing that out. I did not catch that. None of us did. So
No.
It's the first time we've done it, and it's an interesting process. We are getting lots of great feedback from our applicants and our constituents on this. All right, great. Thank you. Other questions, other comments, anything else we should talk about before we kick this thing off at 10:30 on the dot?
I am able
Yeah,
to look
Allison.
at my notes as I do this. This is true.
Yes. Pull one up and make sure that that is true. In fact, if you want to just pull your stuff up for that first application, that would be
Excellent.
great.
I'm looking at.
Are you confirming you can do it?
Oh no, I can do it.
Okay, great. Perfect.
I'm doing it.
I love that. I love that. I love that you can do it. Okay. And let's see what else. Yeah, so we do tell applicants when their application will be reviewed, or at least we give them, the list and say, here it is. The first one kicks off at 10:30. So I don't want to go a little early and have them miss the opportunity to hear you live and in person. So let us, if there are no other questions or comments, please take a stretch break. You'll be sitting for a little bit, although you can turn your camera off and stand if you need to throughout the 3 hours. and then let us jump back on to make sure that we are cameras on and ready to discuss at 10:29. Does that sound good? All right. Okay, great. Thanks, everybody. I'm going to stay on just because.
I'm
too.
checking in too for brain trust in general. First of all, hey y'all, this is my first time doing this.
Same.
So like I'm jumping in and I'm doing the responsibility and I
Yeah,
get to
you
report
are.
on it. So I'm gonna lean heavily on Karen for that again.
You're doing
We're
great.
in it together. I
You're
love
doing
it.
great.
Yay.
Yeah.
I'm all
It
nerves.
is.
And then I have a dog sitting right here
Oh, when
who
the dog
Aw.
comes on camera, we'll all be delighted.
I don't know if we'll
Truly.
all be delighted. He's a big guy. So if he ends
Oh,
up on camera, I'm not okay. You wanna say hi? Can you get up here? Come on.
Okay.
sorry. I'm just looking. I'm
So
just
now you're going to
organizing
invite
my
him.
last thoughts here.
I tried to
Yes,
invite him and he
please
said no.
do. Please, yes, please
All right, so
go
I'm
ahead and
gonna
just
I'm
take
gonna
a
go get
moment
my
to
coffee
organize.
started too, but my headphones are on, so just let me know I need to return because I'm doing 5011 things and we want coffee.
Thank you.
Always
Coffee
coffee.
up. Coffee
Yes.
up.
To sculpture.
Jim, you don't coffee up. Is it Diet Coke? What do you do?
It is Diet Coke. Yes, it
I
is.
thought it was.
This
How
is
many of
not
those
an
do you have for
endorsement.
today?
Not an endorsement. It's an admission.
Right. There you go.
Understood. Well, I will take a cue from Lashandra and heat up my coffee. So I will be right back.
There we are. Pardon me while I talk to myself.
I do it all the time.
As do I. I believe that it's a sign of brilliance and an interesting personality.
Thank you. Sometimes I hear, "Are you okay in there?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just dramatic."
Having a moment.
The other guy who inhabits my head is being loud.
One of my friends said, if you hear me talking to myself, don't worry, I'm just having a staff meeting.
Yes.
Oh, I like that.
Mhm.
Too.
Yes.
Staff meeting with self.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yes, I am the only faculty member, so I'm having a department meeting.
Oh.
Right.
The only faculty
That's
member in arts
awesome.
management. So
I am concerned
Ah,
about my
pardon
ability
me.
to stay to 15 seconds, gonna be honest.
yeah, I think we're not. And I think
What
we've
15
only
seconds are we talking about?
Very
Sorry,
short
what?
summary. First reader, panelist notes. A very
Yeah.
short summary.
no.
My
No.
short
15
summary.
seconds is not the
No.
short summary means 2 minutes,
Oh,
not
great.
15 seconds.
We'll do that. It was the 15 seconds for the program discussion is the tout
Within the description.
within
On,
the description.
on the
So
comment sheet?
yeah, describe the organization and then 15 seconds describe the program
Project.
project. That's it. But we don't have projects, we just have organizations.
You don't have projects, which tells me that you're accessing the panel scoring and comment sheet note for Creative Communities, which is a little interesting.
Yep.
But I am certain.
The first reader panelist notes does say a very short summary of the project, 15 seconds.
Okay, awesome. Ignore that. Do 2 minutes of all the things.
Well, I'm worried about
Turn
2
it over
minutes
to Jim.
too.
And actually, since there's two of you, honestly, Allison, since
Yeah.
there are just two of you, I am not at all concerned.
Okay,
Lashandra, that's a
Cut me
good
off.
heads up to us.
Yeah.
If the primary presenter, if the first reader goes over 5 minutes, please just say ding or 5 minutes or whatever, so that the other person can get a word in, and
Yeah,
then
or
a discussion
turn.
can happen.
Yeah, or shut up, Jim. Shut
Great.
up, Jim works too.
Absolutely not.
I will
And then
I will literally never tell you to shut up, Jim. I promise.
Oh, that's a challenge, Lashandra.
no, Jim, that's what mute buttons are for.
Oh,
And you have control.
Actually, Vivian does.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, today, so that's another reason first for the program staff probably to set these and not you, Vivian. Just because we'll need that level of control. Thank you all. I've got 10:28. Take more than 15 seconds. Take more than 2 minutes if you need it. We will definitely be staying within the 10-minute framework though, and you'll want to give yourselves a little bit of time to do that actual scoring and putting
Yeah.
numbers in that number section.
And
So,
I don't
here's
know.
Vivian.
And I don't know whether you saw it, Allison, or not, but the score box is not marked, but it's immediately above the comment section for each of the 4 comment sections. It's a long
Thank
box
you.
right underneath the description of, or the example list for what did they do. Above the comments, there's a box. That's where we put our scores. Long box.
Does it not say score on it right
No, it
by
does
that
not.
box?
Yes, it does not. Yes, it does not.
Great. I'm learning so much about our comment and scoring sheet from you all this time.
So, okay,
You see what I'm talking about?
no,
Okay.
Do
but I
I share your
appreciate the tip.
screen?
Yeah. Are
Allison?
you seeing what did they do? Or do you want me to share my screen?
Why
Let me
don't you share your
reorient myself
screen?
here.
Oh,
Sure.
actually,
I'll share my screen.
do you know what?
We
Thank you.
are still recording, by the way, on public
We
view,
are.
so
Yep,
Fine.
Thank you.
yep, thanks.
Yeah, I knew that.
And Jim,
This
yep.
so this is the box where we're to put our scores. Can you see where I'm?
Do you see
Yep.
that, Allison?
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And there's one of those
And
under
when we are now-
under each of the
Jim?
sections. So now I
Thank
will
And we're
unshare.
now at 10:30. So
10:30.
thank you.
I
Okay.
will unshare.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you so much.
All right.
That was a struggle
So
for me
Lashandra,
a year ago. So
Continuous learning environment.
Jim, are you ready?
I am.
Evergreen.
Allison, are you ready? Okay. Lashandra, why don't you go ahead and announce this this first application?
Absolutely. So good morning, everyone. The first application we have is Evergreen Theater in Green Bay.
Thank you, Lashandra.
And while I have technical issues, Jim, why don't you go ahead as the first reader here?
Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Lashandra. I was struck. I have heard the Robert Gard quote with which Lashandra started the conversation any number of times, but I was particularly struck by this phrase this time around. Let it spread through the children and the parents. We have an extraordinary number of applications for which that is the case this time, and Evergreen Theater in Green Bay is one of them. This is an organization that was founded in 1985 and merged with another theater company called Next Door Theater in 2006. Originally Evergreen Theater was primarily a community theater, when it merged with Next Door Theater, it took on a local theater group which produced theater by and for children. It has thoroughly embraced that portion of their mission. The mission of Evergreen Theater is to provide entertaining, educational, and engaging live theater for the greater Green Bay area. It is nonprofit, all volunteer, and multi-generational. As I said, a community theater organization. They do 4 main stage programs for adults. They said in one portion that they did 3 young actor productions, but somewhere else they spoke about doing 4. It appears that that program has expanded recently. They serve young people from ages 5 to 18, not only with the production process, but with summer programs, class and performing outlets. Whoops, continue working. My session is timing out. There it goes. Okay. This is for their 40th season. They are about to move into a new home in a former school building and hope to turn it into a multi-use community arts center. Evergreen is the only theater company, they say, in the area that offers consistent theater performance opportunities for youth and adults throughout the year at no charge to the participants. They have had 325 artists, 3,600 adults, and 1,645 young people. They're approximately a $100,000 operation. They had 1 deficit year in the 3, a board of 12 to 15 people, but they have a number of committees that apparently have more than just board people on them. Approximately 20 people serve on both their strategic planning group and the group that is planning their move into their new facilities. At the heart of Evergreen are the young actors, they say, 4 shows performed by children, for children. They've expanded their programs recently. In 2021, they started a Girls in Technical Theater program for girls 12 to 18. They did partnerships for park performances, and they opened a special theater group for opportunities for performers from 5 to 9 in 2025. They have some significant partnerships. They are all volunteer, but they pay their workshop coordinators. As I say, some good partnerships. Their primary difference that they cited was introducing young people to theater. And they have as I said, it would be helpful if the membership of their board of their committees were more clearly defined as to whether or not they are all board members or there appear to be community members on them. They use post-production surveys for feedback, and that has led to the addition of more youth programs. Proofread, please, because the number of youth productions was referred to as 3 in one place and 4 in another. I think 4 is accurate because it was said several times. I really appreciate their candor regarding efforts to diversify. They talked about the difficulty in a primarily white community of trying to have roles for people of color, but then not being able to find the actors for people of color. They appear to be addressing that issue by being more aggressive in trying to diversify their youth programs, which seems to me to be very wise. Oh, I do want to say, be aware as you take on your new space that buildings eat money every single day. Every single day. That doesn't mean you can't have a building. It means you need to have a solid plan to feed it money every single day. And I wish them very well on this effort.
Thank you, Jim. Go ahead, Allison.
It's a great summary, Jim. To add on that, I'm looking at my notes here. I thought it was, would you like me to go through every single area as the second reader or just add things?
So if there are comments that Jim did not cover that you would like to add, or if you'd like to underscore, yes, that also stood out to me, or oh, I had a different read, whatever. This is the perfect
Thank
time
you.
to do that.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Mhm.
Jim, you're so thorough. I did
Sorry.
make, that's a great start. Oh, my battery's running low. Isn't that lovely? I'm going to plug in. I did note that it was a tremendous struggle to get local leaders to see the value of community arts outside of dollar figures, that a lot of Green Bay's money goes into sports. That doesn't mean that they don't have a relationship with local government, neighborhood leaders, foundation directors, to special events. I just know that that is probably a continuous work to do. So I want to say kudos. That was my one thing I wanted to add. Jim's very thorough.
But that's fine. And just so for my notes, to make sure I understood what you just said, Allison. So you're giving them kudos for continuing to pursue the articulation of the value that they do and provide with and for their community to their local leaders. Was that what I
Yes.
heard?
Yes.
Great, great, great. Thank you. Perfect. The first application has been reviewed. If there are no other comments or questions, then please go ahead and put scores in those boxes that we have just identified. Thank you, Jim.
Okay.
And when you are done with those, please go ahead and hit the submit button. Dale will tell us with a thumbs up when he has received both of yours, and we'll go on to the next one.
I need to put a comment in, so sorry.
Okay.
Sure,
Well, and
that's fine.
it might take a little bit of extra time too, just because this is my.
Mhm.
That's fine.
And at the bottom of the page, we have to tick the box that says I agree, and then hit
Thank you.
final review. The bottom of the first page.
Thank you. I appreciate insight and direction. Just everybody, I accept it.
I'm reminding myself because I talk to myself.
I'm encouraging others to help me. All right. Saving graph to calculate. Thank you.
I see the floating thumbs up. All right,
Yes.
Lysandra, let's go
Thank
to
you,
the next
Dale.
one.
All right, next item on the agenda is Over Our Heads Players in Racine.
And Allison, you take this one away.
I am pulling it up right now. Thank you.
And take the time that you need to do so.
Thank you.
Yeah. Just as a reminder, we are still in the small budget organization volunteer artist category. We'll be moving from this category with the next application. But right now we are here.
All right. Thank you. Over Our Head Players is located in downtown Racine, Wisconsin. They operate the 6th Street Theater. They are focused on, but not limited to, comedy, with the goal to gratify group members' artistic aspirations and to satisfy the expectations of patrons. Strengths are original programs, Snowdance 10-Minute Comedy Festival for 21 years now, and Root Cause, a new program to support local artists by providing them with the company and stage to develop and present new, original, and locally crafted works. The Good Ones by Amy Hansen is a local playwright, and the company's first full-length production with script workshop will take place next season. Strengths, community relationships directly impact programming and fundraising. Oddly Incorporated is a locally owned family business that makes puppets for theater, written and produced by over our head players. Matching funds for capital campaign was by 2 patron volunteer ushers exhibiting community buy-in and program changing investment in the theater. I did note that I didn't see a UEI number listed on the application, and just to note, other items, there has been 16 shows in their past 3 seasons. Their staff and volunteers write sketch comedies that have a local flavor, which connects them to their community, like Kringle the Musical. And they have a volunteer artists and board of directors. Paid staff evaluate programming and fundraising. 6 part-time paid staff members. Otherwise, they rely on volunteers to produce and perform 4 to 6 productions per season. They have 9 board of directors, and with 4 openings that will likely be filled at their next board meeting as of the application. And their board meets every other month with committee meetings as well. Volunteers are their greatest asset. 60% of their income comes from ticket sales, local funders, individual contributions, and board-raised organized fundraisers. I did mention that really successful matching fund for their capital campaign resulted in an upgrade of new theater lights, soundboard, light board, and dressing room, and that really took their programming to the next level, which impacted their programming dollars really greatly. They have a smaller theater, and something they did successfully was add additional runs of the shows, and that really impacted their bottom line successfully. And local leaders participate in programming. They had an edgy scripted musical that appealed to younger audiences, and that's something that Over Our Head Players is doing successfully. Say that it's edgy scripted musicals that do that. And we have partnered with businesses and Carthage College over the years. Their organization is investing into accounting software, which shows the knowledge of the importance of processes and reporting. I believe that is what I have to share, and I'm looking forward to hear Jim's additional.
And I'm going to insert that no worries about the UEI, so don't let that
Excellent.
concern you. We will make sure that all applicants will have UEIs before, if you recommend them for grants, before they receive their grant check. So thank you for calling that out, though. Don't let it affect your score. All righty, Jim.
I thank you, Allison. I want to make note that they indicated that their theater is a safe space and the theater builds community. I want to emphasize their support of new playwrights. I think that's fascinating, and that their emphasis on comedy appears to have enhanced their volunteer program. I don't know of another organization that I've been in contact with recently that can boast that their volunteer corps is getting younger. So congratulations to them on that. They have an informal planning process, which for an organization that started as a conversation in a bar is not very surprising. I like the fact that they are experimenting with new things. I want to suggest that with regard to metrics, they they have heard rumors, or they repeated what seemed to be rumors, that business goes up when business for surrounding organizations and restaurants goes up when they have performances. It might be helpful to them if they were more systematic about collecting that information so that they can use that to make their case for community and neighborhood impact. One more thing, let's see. Oh, thanks to them for a clear discussion of their budget anomalies. I really did love their flyers and their process for the snow dance program. Reviewing the 10-minute scripts is really wonderful. Yeah, those are my responses.
All right.
Thank you.
Allison, if you don't have any other responses in terms of Jim's responses, then both of you please go ahead and score it.
Here we go.
All right, thank you, Dale. Moving forward from the small budget volunteer artist to the mid-size budget paid artist. That brings us to St. Croix Falls Festival Theater in St. Croix Falls. And I will turn that over to
Allison.
All
That
right.
is me. I'm the next couple ones. Hello. So
are.
St. Croix Falls Festival Theater. Oh, yes. Okay, I thought I heard someone trying to talk. Is in St. Croix Falls, Polk County. Their mission is to bring high quality, affordable live theater to the rural communities of the St. Croix Valley. They moved back to a landmark building after a historic theater renovation and capital campaign. As exhibited by its growth in programming and ticket sales and historic theater renovation, this rural community values live theater. Other notes that I have: professional theater, main stage shows, youth camps, student matinees all take place in rural Polk County and part of their programming. They have an intergenerational playmakers production where community members collaborate with professional artists. In 2019, they had a 5-year strategic plan that helped the organization achieve their goals of the historic theater renovation, which resulted in increased ticket sales. Over the past 2 years, Festival Theater increased staff from 4 to 7 and successfully raised nearly $730,000 through the Curtain Rising Capital campaign, which was used to outfit their restored auditorium with new sound, lighting, curtains, and infrastructure. Their board meets monthly. I mentioned about the move. I want to see if thanks for my pause. They produce a full annual season of 4 to 6 professional main stage plays and 1 to 2 playmaker community productions, a music and a dance series, a presented series, and multiple youth theater camps. They have professional actors and directors, designers, and teaching artists who are all compensated for their work, and while community actors are volunteer with the Playmakers productions. They have 7 staff members, 5 administrative and 2 production. and a 9-member board of directors, supported by really active subcommittees. The Playmakers, they have an arts education program, which was rebranded and expanded and is now year-round, with a arts education director. And that includes youth summer theater camps, intergenerational community plays, and year-round workshops. They know this because they had the strategic plan that really supported their, I was just really impressed by the strategic plan. They have done a lot of surveys, and they increased staff focus on organizational capacity, which has allowed them to have stronger audience development and expanded education offerings. Their theater, because of the strategic plan, has experienced significant intentional growth. And their annual operating budget has increased due to that new theater from about $278,000 to roughly $500,000 in 1 year. Jim, what have you got to add, please?
Thank you, Allison.
Yes.
So I congratulate them on A, on the strategic plan, and B, on being able to move back into the restored building. I will echo the comment that I said before. I hope that it appears to me, based upon the quality of their strategic plan, that they do have a plan to feed that building money every single day. I certainly hope that that's the case. I was struck by the phrase, "We strive to balance artistic ambition and financial sustainability." I think every organization does that, but it's good to have it explicit. They contribute to the cultural and economic vitality. They partner with schools, libraries, and civic groups, and it is professional artistry. There was a clear description of their planning cycle, and they used as an example of the way they use feedback, the expansion of their youth programming. I would have appreciated discussion on the evolution or the source of the professional nature of the theater and the performers. How did this come about? Are these folks native to the area? Are they imported from the Twin Cities? Is it part of a partnership with producing companies elsewhere? The idea of a small community like theirs supporting professional theater is wonderful, but it's counterintuitive to me. I would like to have known more about how they do that. It would also have been helpful if they had included information such as how many performances each show has, how long the runs are, in order for them to make back their production costs with professional performers. I really appreciated the example of community feedback and the comprehensive strategic plan. It really was remarkable.
Jim, did the season brochure that they uploaded, did that provide the level of not that you needed to dig that deep to find it?
Thank you. Thank you for suggesting that. I did not look there, and you are probably correct that it should have done that for me. Yes, in terms of the length of the runs, that would have been in the
I would hope
material
that would have been included
that I
there.
overlooked.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep, that is correct. I did overlook that. Thank you.
And Allison, did you notice anything related to that at all, or are there any other comments? That was really the only question that I heard from Jim.
Yeah, one of my points was I was interested to learn about the unique needs of the rural community. More information about that. I don't know if that is, it's just a question I had. I don't know if it's applicable to.
In terms of how their work aligns with the needs of their community?
Yeah, what are the unique needs of your rural community? Yeah, I wanted to learn more about that.
Got it. So sometimes organizations include that in their community description. I
Okay.
don't know that that happened in this case, but yeah, that might be a place to take a look, but generally speaking, sometimes groups put that information there.
Yeah.
whether that's the level of detail that you were looking for. And again, sometimes it's panelists will say, gosh, I would have liked to have known more about that. I'm not going to knock you down for not providing it since
Right.
it wasn't explicitly
Correct.
requested, but that would have really enhanced
Correct.
this
Yeah.
application.
That's exactly
and
the
I
way I
am-
felt about the professional background. Yes.
Mhm.
Thank you. I thought as all right. Thanks for the clarification, you two. Okay. If there are no other comments or questions, let's go ahead and score. All right, the floating thumb.
right.
And Deshondra, before we go to the next one, I just wanted to say to both Allison and Jim, if it is helpful for me to continue to sort of point out where you might find that information, I will do so. It is not a criticism at all of either of your reviews. There's a lot of material in all of these. Okay. Okay, great.
No,
Take it.
please.
Not take it personally at all, please.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay. Then we are moving to the world of visual arts.
okay.
Yes, from the theater to the visual arts. The next item is a mid-sized budget paid artist applicant, Sculpture Milwaukee in Milwaukee.
Allison, you again.
It's true. All right. Sculpture Milwaukee in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, a public sculpture exhibition throughout the streets of Milwaukee that fosters community engagement and spurs economic activity. Art in Places include annual exhibitions, educational programs, and public art initiatives. They too had strengths in strategic planning, financial strategy, detailed and transparent work as exhibited by their 2025 organizational plan. These sculptures are intentionally sited, strategic placement throughout places in downtown Milwaukee and also 6 area neighborhoods. And the public can view them 24/7. They are done by local artists, curators, and fabricators. And to note, their local fabrication has increased in the last couple of years, and that has really been impactful to their local community and connecting their global art community with partnerships, they said. They have some new programs, Dear Nature, which is art making and installation in collaboration with university interest and interdisciplinary learning, and social choreography, which transformed passive viewing of sculptures into active engagement. Since 2022, Sculpture Milwaukee has presented over 50 artworks by 42 artists across 6 neighborhoods. They blend local, national, and international voices while maintaining long-term existing works that are also from past years throughout the community. They collaborate with more than 75 community and cultural partners. I will not list them all. 6 full-time professionals oversee their exhibition planning, their fundraising, marketing, and community engagement. And they have a 16-member board of directors providing governance and strategic guidance. The professional staff, I already mentioned about the board. In 2024, they did a full rebrand that was led by an artist and a MIAD graduate, aligning their identity with their mission of accessibility, creativity, and inclusion. Their marketing strategy emphasizes digital storytelling, community partnerships, targeted art outreach, which is deepening their civic engagement. They worked with a group to complete their strategic plan, so they could define measurable goals, diversify revenue streams, and have clear metrics tied to artistic quality and community impact. They had detailed work plans in this grant, exhibition schedule, budgets, partnerships, ensuring alignment across curation, marketing, and engagement. Their budget narrative really successfully explained variations, the cyclical nature of large-scale public art exhibitions, and the production and fabrication costs and the timeline, multi-year grants, and the natural fluctuation of biennial sponsorship cycles and renewals. They did have a change in executive leadership, which they feel will transition them to a more sustainable, diversified funding model. They mentioned a tranche-based program model that was described quite well in their application, which is a structure strategic initiatives into distinct phases or tranches. So each contingent upon confirmed funding. They have partnerships with community institutions, museums, neighborhoods, and global artists. They're very proud, wonderful local investment with that nearly 100% of their vendors and fabricators are Wisconsin-based, ensuring that public art reinvests in local economies and supports regional creative workers. They've worked really hard over the past 3 years to transform these public spaces into vibrant cultural destinations that foster civic pride, social connection, and economic vitality. They did this through a very large exhibition called Actual Fractals and other installations such as Glass Spiral. And all of these are world-class and free of charge to view. Some of these things I've said to you already in my notes. I just get redundant. Planning procedures were clearly described in the organizational plan. I mentioned the tranche-based programming for sustainability. Accountability and evaluation happens through board oversight, community feedback, and tracking artist demographics to ensure diversity, plus program reviews by staff and board. They do audience surveys, and they provided a clear marketing promotional plan. I'm ready for Jim. Please and thank you.
All right.
Thank you,
Handing over
Allison.
back.
Very, very thorough. Very thorough. And it may be that you already mentioned it, but I was impressed with their because they cover the entire Milwaukee area. They have attempted to become more responsive to the community population with a particular collection, which they refer to as the Bronzeville collection, which I want to take note of. I think that for an organization like this to focus on a neighborhood that is might be underserved is something that deserves remarking upon. I appreciate that they are moving to digital access to the works in addition to in-person access in order to kind of get past the seasonality of their activities. They have benchmarking to come with their new strategic plan. They haven't yet quite created their benchmarking program, but it is part of the next steps in the organization's development. I would have appreciated more of a description of the Actual Fractals exhibition program. They talked about it as being transformational. I think that refers to the interactivity of some of the sculptures and or the commissioning process, but I would have appreciated a little bit more information on the nature of Actual Fractals. And I would love to have seen on their education piece, the complete instructions on a social choreography score. The instructions were truncated on the sheet that they uploaded, and it was a fascinating process, and I want to read the rest of it. So thank you to them for an appropriately detailed yet brief organizational and marketing plans, and I appreciated the detailed discussion of their budget variability and their sophisticated marketing program.
Any further comments from either of you on that one? Okay, please go ahead and score. All righty.
Thank you so much,
From the world of
Dale.
visual art, we move
Heading
to
to
the world
dance.
of dance.
Awesome. The next item is Signature Dance Company, also in Milwaukee.
This is again a small budget organization with volunteer artists. And Jim, thanks for taking it away.
Thank you so much. And I'll relieve you of the introductory work just briefly, Allison. Once again, Signature Dance is located in Milwaukee. It was founded in 2005. It is primarily an African-American organization. Its mission is sharing without compromise all our God-given gifts and talents while helping others realize their own. They serve women and girls of color in Milwaukee, ages 3 through adulthood, with high-quality dance training, mentorship, and sisterhood in a safe, affirming space. In the past, annually, they dealt with 65 artists, 1,050 adults, 49 children. Their budgets are approximately $200,000 with 1 year of $275,000. They have experienced significant financial stress over the past couple of years coming out of COVID. It would have been helpful to have more explanation of that on the budget page, although it was referred to in the narrative. There are 4 active board members, and the founding team of the organization, once again, for 20 years in the making, is still active. They provide dance training and performance for underserved families, keep costs low. There are arts camps during winter, spring, and summer school breaks, community dance classes, and the Signature Dance Company. They refer to the art and ministry of dance with teenage girls and women. In 2007, they started an annual retreat, and the objectives of the retreat are to create an environment for girls and women to engage in team building, goal setting, and personal development. They have important partnerships with community organizations such as the Milwaukee Public Schools and the Boys and Girls Club, and with churches. Let's see. They have a performance company. Their community-based classes in partnerships with community organizations bring the classes closer to the community in order to overcome the barrier of transportation that so many underserved families experience. They have a drop-in format also, and they do issues-based productions that seek to affirm the identity of the young women that they serve. They say that they empower Milwaukee's young people to see their worth, share their stories, and lead with confidence and purpose. 4 major performances each year, the annual retreat, the yearly fundraising event, and they are seeking a new class and rehearsal facility, although many of their classes take place in community centers around Milwaukee. They have provided in the past compensation for choreographers, teaching artists, and the staff. In the current situation, they say that they provide that compensation when funding allows, and the staff has moved from a paid situation to a volunteer situation. They have a clear mission, dedicated leadership, and a community of dancers and families. Their goals, their values are dance, mentorship, and ministry. Parents and families volunteer. They have alumni support, and they have partnerships with several schools, both religious schools and public schools. These partners share their belief that every child, regardless of background, deserves access to culturally responsive and transformative arts education. Once again, post-pandemic financial challenges. But they survive despite those financial challenges because of resilience, partnerships, and deep community roots. They work with more than 100 youth for classes, performances, and mentorship, and they refer to them, or they have been referred to, as an important pillar of the community. They have a clear planning cycle. They do that annual retreat, as I mentioned, and they do have parent and participant surveys. Let me just quickly look on the next page. It would have been extremely helpful if they could have described how they are handling the deficits and keeping that extraordinary operation afloat financially, because according to their 990, they have a negative fund balance. The letters of support would have been more impactful if they had been initiated by the organizations. It appears that they were drafted by Signature Dance Company and then sent to the organizations for signature. And I understand the reason for doing that. It would have been more impactful had they asked the organizations to initiate those letters of support. Their survey instruments are outstanding. They have a very clear curriculum, and their student level document is also outstanding. So is their 2022 annual report. There is a brief number in the middle of their reasons why video. It's not the one that they asked us to look at. That's called "It Was Never Just About the Dance." And that is a brilliant statement of purpose for the organization. And I recommend that they excerpt that and spread it widely. It's brief and it says who they are and why. I very much appreciate the candor of their strategic plan update. Just because their timetable has not gone as planned, they continue to work on priority steps, and that's admirable.
Thank you, Jim. Allison.
Thank you, Jim. You're so complete. I thought that it was important to note that because of their strategic studio partnerships, that's what makes it possible to produce the high level work without owning facilities. I really like that they provide free dancewear, shoes, and costumes for their youth company.
Yes.
That is, I've heard from parents in my own world
Yeah.
that it's just such a big expense. I really liked their testimonials, their parent testimonials.
Mm-hmm.
Dance has helped my daughter flourish, overcome insecurities, and allow her to express difficult emotions through dance instead of words. Mm-hmm. Listening to their parents through the surveys, and which led to the new after-school programs, I thought was so smart. And the transportation that you had mentioned, Jim, because that is absolutely a barrier. They also produce Dance Festival for a Cause, which brings together instructors and troops from around the Midwest. So I felt like that established them as a leader and a good community partner. I really liked that their parent surveys were in English and Spanish for accessibility.
Yes.
And because I love testimonials, the outreach program covered months of rehearsals and even the costumes. Cece did not have to watch from the sidelines. She got to be the star for once. We'll end on that.
Thank you. All righty. If there are no other comments, please go ahead and score.
Thanks.
Let's see. There it is.
Oh, I must. Wait a second. Did you get mine?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. User error. Hold on. Okay. I'm almost there. Thank you for your patience.
No problem.
Here we go.
Okay.
Thank you so much. All right, still in the category of dance. This was a small budget with paid artists. Madison Contemporary Dance in Madison.
Okay.
Allison, we'll turn that to you.
That is to me, and I'm
Take a moment. It's totally
It's
fine.
number
Mhm.
11. It's number 11 on your sheet, number 1 in your heart. Sorry. Old top 40 radio line.
Madison Contemporary Dance. I'm not seeing it under my initial review. Hold on.
I can take it if you need it.
Here we go. Okay. I just want to see. It's actually Madison Contemporary Dance is showing up under my final review.
Perfect.
Is that where it should be?
Wherever it is, go ahead and share the comments.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Allison, I just moved it back. You must have submitted it in error. I moved it back to initial review, so you should be able to work.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dale.
Thank you all for your patience. Madison Contemporary Dance is in Madison, Wisconsin, and is a contemporary-based choreography that's accessible to children regardless of family income. They do 5 to 8 outdoor dance events, 3 to 4 theater concerts, youth company, summer dance intensive, daycare, after-school dance activities, and the yearly dance festival for a cause. Now, I brought this up with Signature Dance Company. I think I had the wrong one up.
Go ahead and share the comments on this one, and then we can go back if needed.
I apologize for this.
Not a
Okay.
problem.
This is the strengths with accessible programming for free. I'm going to start over. I'm sorry. The yearly dance festival for a cause is done by Madison Contemporary Dance. I had mentioned it in the last one. And they also have an adult dance company. So their strengths are the accessible programming for free dancewear, shoes and costumes for their youth company, which builds confidence, creativity, and community. Their surveys provide feedback, informed programming changes that have resulted in successful changes, increasing accessibility, such as the transportation and the after-school programs. They have a dedicated founder with strong leadership and strategic studio partnerships, which make it possible to produce high-level work without owning facilities. I have mentioned they have the youth company, the summer dance initiative, a daycare, after-school dance classes, a yearly dance festival, concerts, and adult performance company. Their dance festival for a cause I mentioned. They are exhibiting growth in their service areas. They have a part-time staff and 5-person board of directors who meets once a quarter. And it is their surveys that provided feedback that helped evolve programming to widen their community impact. They have an annual planning cycle where the board and the directors analyze program data, finances, and feedback to establish yearly priorities, expand or adapt programs, and update the strategic plan. They value fair artist pay, and it is several times I mentioned their community partnerships decreasing their building operating expenses. They receive in-kind rehearsal space for multiple programs. This is Madison Contemporary Dance had the wonderful parent testimonials. Their organizational plan has goal metrics. They have a marketing plan that with goals and metrics, target audience strategies and tactics. Their parent surveys are in English and Spanish. And I'm going to turn that over to Jim.
Absolutely. I find that the fact that they offer a daycare program to be remarkable, admirable, and a significant way of serving their community and engaging people into their dance program. Their budget is small, but perfectly balanced. I mean, to the dollar, which indicates that revenue, the perfect balance between revenue and expense indicates that someone is covering deficits, or may indicate that someone is covering deficits with post facto donations. I'm a little concerned about that. It's admirable, but it may not provide a solid base for continuing operation. I'm simply expressing that as a concern. It may also be that they're balancing that budget to the penny by phasing in-kind support. I'm not sure how or why. I simply raised the question as something that they might want to look at. They provided a wonderful video with a clear sampling of all of the programs that they described in their program. Once again, a very clear, well-structured organizational plan, and their how to teach document was quite wonderful. As somebody who spends time in a classroom myself, I found it very helpful. The bilingual dancer guides were amazing, and I love the fact their newsletter had some terrific visuals, but they also provided job notices in the newsletter. What a wonderful thing to do to be of use to their constituency. I think that this is a really an extraordinary organization, one which has significant impact with a very limited budget. They're focused on what they do, and they appear to do it very well.
Thank you. Any other comments?
Just
All right, then
looking.
score this, and we'll pause after this one and kind of touch base for a minute on the previous application after this one is done. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah. Meantime, Dale, would you please take the scoring sheets for signature and make a copy of what was submitted initially, and then somehow, and then open it back up to both Jim and Allison, so we can revisit a couple of pieces of that. Thank you.
Allison, I'll need you to tell me when you submit for Madison Contemporary Dance too, because your other score was already there, and I need to know when you overwrite it.
Okay, I'm actually,
So the one
leaving
thing at
that.
a time.
I'm just leaving that
That is-
page that I was on.
So have you submitted the new contemporary, Madison Contemporary Dance?
No,
Okay, so Dale, you need her
Not
to
now.
do that first before anything
Thank
else,
you.
right?
that's what I'm doing now.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Mhm. Once it's done, we'll see some work from Dale, and then we'll go back to the other.
Did I submit, Dale? I did. Okay, I see.
Yep, I got yours, Jim. My problem with Allison's is that since she submitted earlier, oh, there I see a change. Thanks, Allison.
Okay,
Super. Yay.
do I submit for final review now? I only save draft.
Oh,
So
go ahead and submit
say,
then.
Thank you.
say which application you're talking about. The
Madison
Madison Contemporary Dance? Okay, good. Okay. Dale, do you have what you need?
As long as Allison has submitted Madison Contemporary Dance, I'm good.
You want to double check that, or are we good?
I'm
Hearing
confirming
nothing, I'm going to assume we're good. Okay.
Madison
So let's
Contemporary
head
Dance
to
shows
signature
final
again.
review on my side. Go back to
Okay.
signature.
Yes.
Thank you.
And I've just
Jim?
reviewed my scoring on signature, and I'm content with it as it stands.
Okay, I'm going to wait for you to hear Allison's comments related to that particular application, just in case she may have some additional insights to share. Allison,
you.
take a moment, please,
Thank
and
you.
just scan over that. Sure.
I think that's something that I would add for Signature Dance Company, just to be complete and thorough, since I was on the wrong one. Signature Dance Company was founded to remove the barriers to arts access that was happening in Milwaukee. And it was by a youth bringing professional level dance training into the community.
Yeah, thank you for noting that.
Yeah, I also was really impressed just with the level of knowledge, with the connection with community, the mentorship, the sisterhood, the safe, affirming space. I also,
Allison,
yes,
would you like your review for signature put back into the initial status so you can make
Yes.
some changes?
Yeah.
I'm happy with my review.
Okay.
So you can see the scores that you
I
provided.
can see the
first
scores
time
that
out?
I provided. Yes,
Okay. All right.
thank you.
Yes.
All right, confirming
All
to
right.
see if we're back on track to keep moving.
Ooh, back on track.
Excellent
you.
work, both of you. Thank you so much.
When
Thank you.
technology works for us, it's always a good thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
one thing well, I'll say it later. Never mind.
Thank you. All right, Lashandra, let's head to multidisciplinary.
Yes. All right, this is a mid-sized budget volunteer artist organization, Kids from Wisconsin LTD in Milwaukee.
And Allison, when you are ready.
To Kids from Wisconsin tour across the Midwest, and they perform 2-hour Broadway-style reviews of song, dance, and music to audiences all over Wisconsin, estimating about 120,000 people each summer. These are singers and dancers that are age 15 to 20, and they are selected through audition and seeked out in communities that may not have much music programming. They have a rehearsal camp that is for their tour, and that runs 17 days. In 17 days, the students learn a fully staged production. They also experience master classes and a professional tour with leadership and workshop trainings. There's another program that they run, which is Realize Your Dream, which is workshops and outreach performances for youth ages 8 to 14. These performers are individually selected and well-trained, they said, and they come from the variety of community types throughout the state, as I had mentioned. They perform twice daily at Wisconsin State Fairgrounds in Milwaukee during the state fair, and then in communities that are urban and rural, in art centers, high school auditoriums, or outdoor venues. The students are not paid. They are given a per diem. The production team, touring staff, and operations team is paid during the summer. And then there's also a community enrichment production staff member that's paid. 1 full-time employee and 3 part-time administrative staff, as well as 10 to 12 artistic staff, which are seasonal. And about 100 alumni volunteer. One of the identified barriers is the increasing costs of travel and production. And the analysis, SWOT analysis is what they use to determine their budget and goals, their outcomes. Their process is pretty cyclical, in alignment, and their season is in alignment with their mission and vision. They use online surveys and interviews, and they do comprehensive audits of spending. They want to have software implementations to make the budget more transparent and integrate across all their software. I would say I would like to see some, not reflected in my scoring, but some give back into the communities where these highly talented performers are coming from. I do understand that they do tour through many different communities. Jim, what additions?
Thanks, Allison.
Thank you.
Kids from Wisconsin is a legacy brand. I think they mentioned that during their discussion, and it's been around for some time. It is. There was a time when touring show choirs of perky young people were very popular. The changing demographics, our changing world, the rise of social media, and as they indicated, the rise of travel costs has impacted them. The opportunity, the creation of opportunities for young people who wish to have performance experience is still very relevant, but they're dealing with the challenges of a post-pandemic world and a more virtual world. So I understand that, and I appreciate the candor with which they discussed that in their application. Let's see. And let's look at the next page. Yeah, the video was very helpful, but it would have been interesting to see some less edited footing. They gave us their promotional video from the last tour, and it would have been nice to see a full number, or at least a portion of a number straight through with the original music of that number, so that we could have an idea of the production itself. The organizational plan was well laid out, but it would have been helpful to see some of the strategies as well as simply the goals, although the marketing plan did provide some of those strategies. I was really interested by their pre-test, post-test questionnaire, and I would love to see some results of that. Once again, I appreciate their candid discussion of the challenges.
Karen, you're muted.
Yep.
Thank you. That came up at the previous panel as well in terms of work samples versus marketing material. We ask you to base your artistic quality score on the work sample that's provided. And when you don't have an actual work sample, that makes it more challenging for you all.
Right.
So thank you for doing your best with what you have.
Mhm.
And I am betting that the applicant will make note of that, as did the music applicants who made that decision as well. Just where things go within an application.
Yep.
Thanks. Thank you, Dale.
All right, ready for the next item. Mid-size budget paid artist. This is T-Bay Arts Center, Incorporated in Milwaukee.
Take it away, Jim.
I shall do that as soon as I find it on my list. There it is.
Absolutely.
I found
Take
it.
your time.
All right. And Lashandra, are you saying T-Bay with knowledge of how it's pronounced?
That is how it's pronounced.
That is how it's pronounced. Okay. I wasn't sure whether it was T-Bay or T-B-E-Y. Thank you very much. T-Bay is, as you say, in Milwaukee. It is another organization that was founded to serve the African American community. It was founded in 2000 and incorporated in 2004. The founder still serves as executive director and sits on the board. It is typical and appropriate, if unusual, at 25 years into an organization's history that the founder is still in such a key position. T-Bay Arts Center strengthens youth and young adults through exposure to the arts and opportunities for creative expression. Youth and young adults ages 6 to 19 receive professional arts instruction, enjoy performances and exhibits, and receive tutoring, mentoring, and coaching to achieve academically and pursue their interest in the arts. T-Bay has been guided by a vision of equity and accessibility, ensuring that children and teens from underserved neighborhoods have affordable access to high-quality arts education. They have worked with 45 artists, 4,000 adults, and 2,200 children. Their budget is approximately $400,000 a year. They had a small deficit in 24, but surplus in the other years. They are fundraising to invest in the future and to invest in staffing. Let me see. Access to the arts for 25 years, reaching over 20,000 youth. They produce 5 to 6 major public events. And also host 4 free community craft nights and deliver 40+ weeks of in-school and after-school instruction through their after-school arts training and mentoring. Their Tinies, early childhood classes, and Arts Reach programs, and other arts activities. Let me see. Oh, they have just served their 25th anniversary. They're celebrating their 25th anniversary now. Mission, leadership, and partnerships are their strength. They are artist-centered and culturally responsive. They have multi-year contracts with the Milwaukee Public Schools and community partners, including Marcus Performing Arts Center, DanceWorks, Milwaukee Rep, Boys and Girls Clubs, Journey House, and a number of other community organizations. They serve Milwaukee's most underserved neighborhoods. With regard to revenue fluctuations, they are expanding fee-for-service partnerships and initiating a capital campaign. They refer to their strengths once again as resilience, collaboration, and commitment to equity. They are a safe haven, a creative hub for youth, and they remove barriers to arts participation. Roughly 80% of their students identify as youth of color, many from low-income families, and face the barriers of transportation and limited school-based arts opportunities, as well as financial issues. One of their goals is to advance racial equity and arts accessibility. Their planning document was a great summary of what they do. They have good evaluation tools, and I would love some examples. They say that they involve youth and family in their planning process. I'd love a few examples as to how that has played out. One more quick look. Once again, an excellent plan outline, but I would love to have seen some strategies and objectives as well as the goals. I appreciated the thorough explanation of the 2024 deficit, and I love their teaching artist framework and curriculum guide, particularly the reference to Wisconsin teaching standards and the clear guidelines. Allison?
You are so thorough. I love it. Yeah, the culturally relevant workshops, being completely in tune with your community. Their board is 90% BIPOC, Black, Indigenous people of color. So nothing, I'm just looking over my notes here. The free craft nights seem to be quite popular for people. Was mentioned several times. I noted that this community was the highest percentage of people in a community that have a disability, 22%. That is, I want to see if I have additional comments here. Wonderful segment on today, 2024, from the marketing. Really great. That's what I have. Thank you.
Did either of you call out the work sample specifically?
Work sample? Yeah, the segment on today.
Oh, was that their work sample?
Let me look again at the work sample, sorry. Oh, yes, I see the
I just wanted
images.
to make sure that I didn't miss it in my
Thank
notes.
you.
Nope.
Oh, wait.
It's a series of photographs of various activities.
Yep.
I found it, and then
Yes.
and then a couple of news segments of their activities, links to news stories.
Correct.
And the work sample itself, that set of 10 digital images or however many gave you what you needed? Along
I
with the
was
others?
happy
Okay.
that it was multidisciplinary. So you see dance, you see theater, you see artwork with the and yes, that last comment about the television segment on today, that was in their work sample.
Yeah, I think
got it.
I think I got sufficient indication of the kind of work that they do. Yeah.
Me too.
Okay, great. Always good for an applicant to hear that their work sample was what you needed. So thank you. Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Thank you.
If there are no other comments, then please go ahead and score this one.
Thank you.
All right.
Excellent. Thank you so much. The next item, still a mid-sized paid artist budget. Bookworm Gardens in Sheboygan.
Allison, this one's yours.
This one's me because
Please
I
take a
was
moment.
second
Yeah.
reader. Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead. Take a minute. That's fine.
Thank you. All right. Bookworm Gardens is in Sheboygan, Wisconsin, and is a botanic garden inspired by children's literature. They have an education department that provides nature and literature-based experiential learning opportunities in the form of field trips, summer camps, family festivals, and adult classes and workshops in the off season. Their audience, when they started, was primarily Sheboygan County, and they receive free admission for general visits, but that has been growing. They did report many international travelers representing every country. 83 books are in their collection of garden space that interprets the book in some way. It's meant for observation or experiential interaction. They had, because of their surveys and feedback, they had a new partner with the Hmong American Peace Academy in Milwaukee, and that featured a book by Kalia Yang, A Map into the World. I'm sorry, the book is A Map into the World by Kalia Yang, a Minnesota-based Hmong American author. Every year, the new garden is designed and installed in collaboration with a community organization or school, inspired by our carefully chosen book. They do 2 new garden spaces a year. They have reached out and worked with Young at Heart, which is field trips from the Sheboygan senior community, and then connect also with their nature school. Their leadership team is 4, with a total staff of 25, but that does not include seasonal and part-time. I'm sorry, that does include seasonal and part-time. They have 15 board of directors that meet every other month, and their executive committee meets every other month. I would have liked to see a budget narrative. Correct me if I'm wrong, because their investment income looked like it doubled this year, which was intriguing. Revenue from admission is a significant portion of their operating budget, as well as donations, grants, membership, and corporate sponsorship. I'm going to go back to the statement of every country. They had visitors in 2024 from 48 states, thank you, and 8 countries. It's risen every year since 2020, with a total of 78,000 visitors in 2024. They are focused. They did mention breaking down barriers to access. They joined the Museums for All initiative. People can show their SNAP card and receive discounted admission up to 4. I'm sure with recent changes in SNAP, maybe looking at different ways to create accessibility would be beneficial. And I would also suggest maybe increasing the admission total amount of people just to accommodate larger families greater than 4. Not in my scoring, I just to note. Their maps and materials are translated both into Spanish and Hmong, which is very accessible. And they also host bilingual story times. They are celebrating 15 years in 2025. Happy anniversary. And they had found quite success with their relationship with Sheboygan County because their lease was just expanded to approve an additional 30 acres. I love a review. What a gem. This was a beautiful tucked away find for us today. Absolutely stunning gardens, and the books incorporated at every turn were so much fun. Perfect for families, kids, and adults who love nature and books. Will definitely return. And they had parent reviews included as well. Other things to note, I really like their impact report, and nice work constructing a new restroom facility that includes a handicap shower and adult changing space, as well as low sensory care room for accessibility. Oh, did I lose you?
Nope.
Good.
Take it away, Tim.
Take it away, Jim.
Okay.
Thank you.
Full disclosure, I have been to Bookworm Gardens, and because I loved the idea of it, and because I have a former student who works there. You hit on almost all the things that I had to talk about. Allison, thank
I'm
you.
proud of myself for that.
Yeah, 8 acres is their current
Thank you.
area, and 30 more are in their conceptual master plan now that's been approved by Sheboygan County. So congratulations to them for that activity. They refer to funding challenges, but they appear to be making them to be dealing with them appropriately because all of their years have ended in positive fund balances. I would have appreciated discussion of the $300,000 of in-kind support in 2023. It was a significant bump from what they have had in either of the other 2 years. It would have been interesting to know what that was. And it would also have been instructive to learn. They indicated that they pay the artists who interpret the children's work for the three-dimensional gardens, the children's books for the three-dimensional gardens. It would have been instructive to learn how the rights to interpret those books are negotiated with the publishers. Their plan is simple, but it's very comprehensive, and I really appreciated their work.
I just want to note that we really appreciate you calling out the importance of using that tool related to the budget, that box, for explaining if something happens 20% or more either way, this is your place to explain it. Otherwise, it can be a red flag or an unanswered question, which is what you don't want to have for a panel. So thank you for that overall, and we will continue to underscore that in our conversations with applicants before the process going forward. Right, thank you, Dale. Lashandra, before we move into our final category of presenting, I'd like to take the opportunity to say, please stretch. Please, we haven't put in a break, so I want to make sure you guys are doing okay. You can turn your camera off if you want to, but please just take a moment, unless you need more than a moment. Are we good to go after this
No, we're
stretch break
good.
for
We're good.
last
Get
year?
grounded.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, then please stretch.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right, I will go ahead. Well, no, I won't, because Jim stepped away. So we'll wait for Jim to be ready.
I'm back.
He is stretching off camera.
Yes.
Stretching off camera. All right.
And I
Great.
just have a
Thank you.
standing desk, so I just keep standing up when I need to, and the
Oh,
camera
nice.
follows me.
Oh, look at you.
Yes. All right. Heading into the presenting category, mid-size budget.
And as a
next-
reminder, all presenters pay their artists because they are presenting organizations, and their work sample is their season brochure, the current and past. So just to ground us in this context, thank you, Lashandra. And I think I
Absolutely.
spoke over you as you were identifying which applicant we were looking at.
I didn't start yet. I appreciate the step-ins and support for the details. But yes, I'm ready to announce the next one, UW-Madison, Wisconsin Union Theater in Madison.
And Allison, this one's yours.
Located at the University of Wisconsin-Madison campus in Madison, Wisconsin, the Wisconsin Union Theater presents, produces, and promotes diverse cultural education, performing arts in 2 locations, the Shannon Hall and the Place Circle. One has 1,157 cap and the other one is 182 cap. So quite different sized theaters. And that is for the University of Wisconsin-Madison student, staff, and the greater Madison community. UW-Madison students on the Wisconsin Union Directorate Performing Arts Committee work in partnership with programming staff to curate the annual season of performing arts. They have new programming that includes co-presenting the Madison Jazz Festival, which is free to the community at the Memorial Union Terrace, and they also have expanded artist residencies. 8 full-time administrative and production staff, 30 to 40 student employees, and interns across production, marketing, box office, and artist services. Their work is guided by the Wisconsin Union Council, which is composed of university staff, students, and alumni with robust administrative infrastructure for them, which includes finance, marketing, human resources, and risk management. This allows the production team to focus fully on artistic innovation and education impact programming. They present 25 to 30 performances and engagements events a year. You had mentioned they pay professional fees to all touring and resident artists. Their educational activities include show talks, artist class visits, public lectures developed in collaboration with UW faculty in academic courses. I mentioned about staff. Their work is guided by the Union Council. Just seeing what else. Their greatest strength lies of the integration between the professional arts presentation and the student leadership with community engagement. They did mention financially that when they occasionally operate at a deficit due to high costs with performances and production, that when that occurs, the Wisconsin Union, which the theater is a unit of, subsidizes these shortfalls through other enterprise areas, particularly food and beverage sales generated by campus dining and catering services. And the Wisconsin Union also provides significant in-kind support through staffing, HR, and accounting. It was clear that their new program on the Union Terrace, being free, is a public gateway to the arts, that it has helped increase ticket sales in their theater. The theater presents national and international artists. They uplift Wisconsin-based creatives, and they like to create entry points for individuals who may not otherwise be able to attend a live performance with free concerts. They participate in state and national professional networks, including the Wisconsin Presenters Network and the Association of Performing Arts Professionals. And their theater shares important data with other peer presenters to strengthen the infrastructure, the performing arts infrastructure across the state. Expansion of work included artist residencies that I had mentioned earlier. Presenting acclaimed performers broadened the audience reach through more inclusive programming. I like that they give statistics that resulted in a 23% increase in events and a 14% rise in patrons served. Their expanded artist residencies. Sorry if that was unclear. They have strengthened their partnerships in the campus and the community. Thank you for your patience with me. Just seeing if there's anything else I need to. Students and faculty give input through the Performing Arts Committee that's on their programming. They have staff and partner feedback following each session to evaluate logistics, partnerships, and artistic outcomes. They look at audience and ticketing data analysis to guide decisions about balancing artistic ambition, accessibility, and audience demand. Both quantitative measures and qualitative measures in success and opportunity. And they had a clear marketing promotional plan outlined with their values, their goals, the brand position and voice. It was very thorough. I really thought it was a well-written professional proposal with great detail.
I sense a baton pass on to Jim at this point.
Thank you.
Thanks for the thorough summary,
It was-
Allison.
I learned a lot.
Yeah, full disclosure, I was the theater supervisor, that is house manager at the Wisconsin Union Theater when I was in grad school, when dinosaurs roamed the earth. And so I was particularly responsive to their discussion of the systematic planning that they use to engage student decision makers and to help develop their careers. They have a clear cycle of assessment, and their engagement with their partners is significant. I liked the phrase balancing mission and margin. I'm taken by those phrases. I had another one, a similar one at St. Croix Falls that struck me. In their discussion of the $100,000 to $200,000 deficits that they record each year, I am curious as to whether there is any pushback from union management with regard to the size of those deficits, and do they budget that level of shortfall in their discussion? It would have been helpful to know. They certainly discussed it. They said where the subsidy comes from. I'm interested in the attitude and response of the folks that are subsidizing them. I assume that it's budgeted, but it would be helpful to know. It was helpful to see their dual budget format, and that it is the overhead allocation that creates the deficit. That perhaps is the answer to my question. It would have been nice to have it called out explicitly. And once again, they had very good, consistent support materials, as you mentioned, Allison. I believe that is my those are my comments that you haven't already covered.
Jim, a question.
Yes.
Is that dual budget presentation something that you would identify as a best practice for programs embedded within universities, or is it very specific to this organization?
I think it's specific to the union.
That's
I
fine.
think I
Just
think it
checking
is
in.
specific to the union because most performance programs are not part of the university union.
I will go ahead and say at the end of the day, I will be asking you to think back to identify whether you have found any best practices in this mix. No pressure, but if you have, I'm going to ask you to call them out.
Good.
Meantime, if we are done with this particular discussion, please go ahead and score.
Thank you. Oops. Oh.
Thank you, Dale. All right. Then, staying within the presenting category, go ahead and take us out, Lashandra.
Yes. All right. The next item is a large budget organization, and it is Confluence Council Incorporated in Eau Claire.
All right,
Thank-
Jim, thank you.
Thank you. Confluence Council doing business as Pablo Center at the Confluence. It serves Eau Claire and the greater Chippewa Valley. Its mission is it welcomes, connects, inspires, and transforms, motivated by the belief that through art, education, and entertainment, we can build stronger communities and a more enlightened world. Excuse me for half a second. If we were outdoors, I'd say I inhaled a bug. But we're not, so I have no idea what happened. Anyway, the program was the organization was incorporated in 2012 and oversaw the construction of a facility that opened in 2018. It replaced the State Theater and the Eau Claire Regional Arts Center, which had been the major presenter in the community for a number of years before that. It houses a 1,200-seat theater and approximately 400 seats flexible theater, 3 rehearsal, dance, and community rooms, visual arts galleries, labs for sound and lighting, set and exhibit design, recording arts, multimedia production and costume design, and spaces equipped to support vocational training initiatives. It also houses the UW Eau Claire theater programs, classroom and lab spaces, and has initiated a Wisconsin Shakespeare Festival, which was delayed by COVID, but had its premiere performances in the summer of 2023 in a replica of Shakespeare's Globe Theater. It is the home for more than a dozen local arts and cultural organizations, including the Children's Theater, Symphony, Theater Guild. Their education programs serve children from 3 to 12 through arts integrated learning, as well as robotics and coding. They have taken on STEM programming, that is I can't remember what S stands for, technology, something technology, engineering, and math, but I have lost what the S means in STEM. Anyway, science, thank you very much. A general term rather than a specific one. Last year, they had 6,506 artists, almost 62,000 adults, and almost 4,500 children that they served. Their budget is $7.5 million, and they had significant deficits in 22 and 23 based upon post-COVID. I'll talk about that in a minute. They did do some significant cost cutting after those deficits and are reimagining their program to some extent. They have a comprehensive program, as you can see. They present over 200 events a year, ranging from their own events to local art shows, university theater and recital and national touring shows, approximately 50 shows from the local arts organizations, and up to 10 visual arts exhibitions, 20 independent music concerts, an annual musician in residence, and 5 large arts education-oriented events. And they do a Giving Tuesday benefit concert coming up soon, I suspect. They compensate all performing artists and exhibiting creators to ensure fair pay for professional work. Visual artists keep 70% of the price of work sold through their sale galleries. The administrative team has 25 staff members, more than 100 part-time house staff, and a newly launched volunteer usher corps of more than 50 people. Working board of directors of 12 meets bi-monthly. They have education programs that include FIRST Robotics, Lego League, Girls Who Code, Odyssey of the Mind, and summer school programs that reach over 4,000 students a year. They had absorbed deficits to make their facility affordable for the local arts organizations, but with the shock that they have experienced post-COVID, they can no longer do so. Passing along their costs has caused hardship on those local organizations, and they have launched a Pablo Center Community Arts Fund to attempt to get that subsidy, the subsidy that they need between the cost of the building and what the organizations have are able to pay. They are expanding their access programs. I certainly appreciate their candor with regard to the discussion of their budget. Their budget years are not on their form are not the same as the ones that they have. The numbers are the same, but their 2023 numbers should be 2024, and 2022 should be 2023. They copied them wrong off the 990 forms. At the end of their audited financials, there was an excellent explanation of their deficit in net assets on page 24, and that was very helpful. I would have appreciated more background and experience info on their executive director. There was a lovely puff piece on what their executive director believes, but there was no indication of her qualifications in the bio that they provided. They have a strong, committed team. The board includes relationships with their partners, representatives of their partners, two from UW Eau Claire, one from the Eau Claire County Eau Claire schools, and one from the city of Eau Claire. They have state-of-the-art facilities, partnerships with a lot of organizations. They have well-stated challenges. They indicated what it seems to me is that, like many organizations like theirs, a new facility that has high aspirations, they assumed that the money would follow, and the money hasn't followed. This is not unusual for an organization like this. As a matter of fact, I managed one in Des Moines at the beginning of my career, which had a very similar situation. The community needs to understand that organizations like this need to be subsidized. It is coming to that realization with Pablo Center, and I wish them well. They have great examples of their impact. Do they have metrics or follow-up examples, follow-up evaluation instruments with the activity participants? They've done a nice job of diversifying their programming, trying to attract new folks and get people to come into their program. They have a systematic planning and evaluation program outlined. Were there some results which could have been cited under what difference do you make? And very quickly, let me go to the next page.
Jim, just to understand that comment, are you saying you did not see the results and you wanted to, or you did see the results?
I did not see the results and I wanted to.
Okay, thank you.
It's a wonderful planning format document, but I didn't see the results of the evaluations that they indicated that they do. Once again, more metrics on the impact and what difference they make. Information on the executive director's background and experience would have been appreciated. They have an excellent context-setting strategic plan. I would have appreciated some information on their near-term goals and objectives. But once again, I appreciate the candor they displayed in the discussion of the deficit. Allison.
That's great. I also noted appreciated the budget narrative detail and the good work of working with community partners and wanting to help them and create equitable experiences with your beautiful building, and then trying to and then communicating in a hard way, like, this is what it costs to do these things. And so it's the balance. I really appreciated that perspective and conversation. And I also liked bringing in community into the beautiful space and breaking down those barriers. Really smart to have your partners on your board.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you.
If there are no other comments, please go ahead and score. And once Dale has given us the floating thumbs up, we'll touch base on the break and what happens next.
Oops, I need to tick a box before that goes. There it is. Interestingly, if you don't tick the box and try to submit, it goes to the top of the page, not the bottom of the page where the checkbox that you haven't hit is.
Hmm.
Have submitted. I do have
I see that. Yeah.
one left in my initial review from previous
Which one is that?
for our head players. It is
You have
scored,
But you have not yet submitted it? Or you did, but
apparently
it's still
not.
there. But Dale, you had what you needed from Allison on that one, yeah?
As long as her scores haven't changed, she can submit and it won't matter. But if you change anything, I need to know.
She
Not
says
gonna
that
change
she
anything.
has
I'm
not
going
yet. She's,
final review. There we
and
go.
you have already, okay. All right,
In the interest of
Thank
transparency,
you.
I just wanted to talk it out.
Right.
okay. You have earned a break and then some. So let us take, should we can take a full 10 minutes? We can take until 12:30. What would you like to do at this point? And Lashandra, your thoughts on this would be welcome too. Jim says 5. 5 minute. Allison, how about you?
Sounds
That's
good.
good. Chandra?
Yep.
Okay. See you at 12:28. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, and when we get back, I'll tell you what happens next.
All right.
Okay. Well, we are back. So, just wanted to say that right now, even as we speak, Dale is generating a score sheet so that you will be able to see what you have brought this day. So he's going to share a list of the applications, scoring highest to lowest. And it's going to be an interesting mix because they're all disciplines and they're all budget sizes and they're all volunteer versus paid. So you're going to need to sit for a minute and just kind of absorb all of those permutations and then discuss if there's anything that surprises you about the final results there, anything that stands out, or yeah, just sharing some comments on that. And if there are any applications that have a score that is lower than 50, then what you have told us through that scoring is that you do not believe that that organization is yet ready for public funding this round, and you want staff to work with them to apply again next year. Work out some of those issues. So Dale is generating that right now, and we are, in the meantime, talking about how the day went, or how rather these few hours went, and what again, what stood out for you, what worked, what didn't. This is open discussion on any aspect of this, from application form to application process to review process to guidelines to material that you saw within the applications that wasn't that interesting or helpful. I mean, it's all terribly interesting, but not that helpful in finding a score, or things that you would like us to ask for that we have not, that would be helpful in a future process. And Jim, I know you've been sitting on a comment, so please go ahead.
Two things regarding Smart Simple. One is what I just mentioned on the last item, and that is that when you forget to check the I agree box at the bottom of the page, it springs to the top of the page, not taking you to the place where you have forgotten to do the work. So that's really interesting. It would be more helpful if it took you to the spot that you had not executed. The other thing is, it would be lovely if the name of the organization would float when we scroll down. I noticed it in my review work, and it would have prevented the issue that Allison had with the two dance companies. If the name of the organization would float at the top of the page as we scrolled on that page, it would make review much simpler.
Duly noted. Thank you for those things. We are in ongoing conversations with Smart Simple. So thank you, Jim, for that. Other comments, observations, questions?
I have learned a lot. I really
Great.
enjoyed reviewing everybody's application. It being the first time, it was wonderful. There's so much great work going on throughout the state of Wisconsin that is so inspiring and community changing and really important work. I really appreciated all of the communication and guidance through the way.
Yes.
Did you notice, and this group really did have a lot of different geographic pieces to it. Did you notice any overall trends among these applications, this set of very disparate groups, or were they all sort of unique and there wasn't really a trend that stood out to you? Or an anti-trend? I know that at one point Jim was praising, or at least noting, and I think praising, one of the applicants for having a remarkably strong and skewing younger volunteer base, which is different than the trend that you're seeing. Anything else standing out to you related to any of that?
It's interesting that there were financial stresses at the very top and at the very bottom of our budget range.
Mhm.
I found that interesting.
One thing I found interesting was the organizations with buildings partnering with smaller organizations so they could access their building. But that also took on financial stress for the larger organization, but was really beneficial for the younger. So we talk a lot about social capital and how we cannot duplicate processes in nonprofits, and how can I work with other nonprofits and all benefit so we're not duplicating and increasing financial stress. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, in particular with regard to Confluence Center, which clearly had in mind an idea of consolidating arts resources in the community and even tourism resources. Apparently, the tourism office is located in Confluence Center, and the idea of having those residents, having the Eau Claire Theater Program and the tourism program housed in the center was intended to provide operating capital to cover the overhead, but it's not covering the overhead. So that's
Overhead.
yes. I mean, costs increase and the costs of energy and heat. Buildings eat money every single day. Those have increased at a rate that is increasing. And so buildings are vulnerable in that way.
Mhm.
All right.
One of
I'm
the
going
dance companies, their success was being able to go to many different locations and not have
Yeah.
that overhead.
Yes.
Case in point, yeah. Buildings eat money. That's lovely.
Mhm.
We have
I'm
an
going
old
to-
40-year-old building.
I know. I like the building.
We'll talk again, Jim.
I'm going to go ahead and share the scoring sheet now that Dale has created that. Thank you, Dale. So you all can see what's going on here. Please let me know when you are able to see this.
We can see it.
Okay, thank you. All right, so I'm going to give you a moment with it, and you can see that that they are all relatively close in score.
Yes, we are.
All right.
Mhm.
Anything to when you're ready to share an observation, I'm not going to push you on it, but when you're ready, please go ahead and do that.
I was consistent in my scoring through the process, but it might have been helpful to have a broader range between like what my median was.
Mhm.
That's mine.
No, I think I'm content with the range with the order of the organizations. Mine were a little bit different from Allison's, but that's why we have different people on the committee.
Exactly.
But I think from high to low, it's pretty representative.
Okay. Oops. I closed out here.
And
All right,
once
good.
again, I don't think it's inappropriate that all of these organizations show up as being worthy of support.
All right. Well, and your scores confirm that, so that's great. Thank you. Do we need to see this anymore, or can I shut it down and I can see you again? Okay. Okay,
I'm giving you a
great.
thumbs
Thank
up,
you.
which you can't see. How is
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you. Thank you, Dale, for that work. So appreciate you. And
Yeah.
thank you, Vian, as well for
Thank you,
the
Dale.
backup on the panel. Lashandra, this is a time when you actually get to unmute if you wanted to share any thoughts related to the meeting or what you have heard today, and to underscore that you will be reporting back to the board at its December meeting on this conversation and these recommendations.
Absolutely. I just really appreciate how thorough that you were both able to provide support for applications and information. I have never had to report on this. I've always just heard those reports, right? So being able to experience this and have the immersive experience today and a few days ago, hearing the responses from reviewers really underscores the importance of the work that we do in Wisconsin to continue to advocate for these resources to organizations. And I love to be amongst community of the creative sector. It was also very entertaining. Jim, you're hilarious. Uh, so really grateful for the time you served to provide this oversight on the evaluation of the grant.
Yes. Yes. Grateful to you both.
Thank you,
And to you,
LaShonda.
Latondra, for sharing.
Thank you, Chandra. I want to echo what Allison said. The reason I keep coming back to do this is because it is so exciting to see the extraordinary work that's being done across the state. It really is. And the dedication with which that work is being done. It is not easy for these organizations, big city or small, to achieve the things that are being achieved here. And I admire them greatly. And I teach students whom I hope will carry on this work. So it's exciting to understand how it is, how it's being done now.
Any other last
Absolutely.
minute comments, Allison, Jen, LaShonda, for the group?
I want to call out the educational materials from Madison Contemporary Dance
As a
as
best practice?
best practice.
Thank you.
The how to teach and the two performance the two performer preparation sheets. I would have said they were best practices standing on their own, but the fact that they were bilingual just brings it to a whole nother level. Those three documents are extraordinary. There was also one other document, and it may have come from Signature, which was the one that had the levels of students, the definitions of the achievement levels of the students. I'm pretty sure it was Signature Dances.
I will go back and extract that.
Document
Thank you.
was a very fine piece of work.
Great. Thank you. All right. Then once again, thank you and ever thanks. And we will be in touch. And I hope you have a really lovely rest of the day and weekend. Thank you again for all of your work. LaShonda, thank you for repping the board.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Happy
Thank
Thanksgiving,
you.
everybody.
Take care, everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Oh, happy Thanksgiving.
Allison, we'll talk.
Great connection.
Yay.
And we can stop recording, Vivian. Thank you. And live streaming.